Got the tablecloth on today too.
Change it up.
Man.
Y'all ready? About to go live. Good afternoon, everyone. We are here with for the Sun Conference Flag Football Championships, and this is our post-game press conference. And with us today, we have the St. Thomas Bobcats, who are the tournament runners-up in the Sun Conference for the 2023 season. Thomas finishes the regular season 12-4. They were 7-3 in conference. They were tied for second place, but due to the tiebreaker, they were the number 3 seed coming into the tournament. They defeated Kaiser on yesterday by a score of 31-25, and were defeated today by the St. Thomas Nighthawks by a final score of 26-19. And with that, we have the head coach of Bobcats, Eric Brazinko, and two players, Maya Kenyon and Kayla Alvarez. With that, Coach, we're going to ask you to give your opening statement, and on the computer right there in front of you, if you want to take a look at some of the stats, I've got the computer right there in front of you. If you want to look at some of the stats, any one of you guys.
Yeah, first thing, I'm extremely proud of our girls and the way they fought today and finished the season off, with 11 straight, and then making a run to possibly be or have the opportunity to be Sun Conference champions. It's a testament to them. They're very battle tested, as you saw today. We were down some scores, made a comeback, right? We're very battle tested and a gritty group. I'm very proud of what we've done so far, and obviously this stings and hurts, but we're gonna use this as motivation going into nationals, and hopefully we can continue our strive for what we want to do for our goals. So.
Maya?
I definitely think we had some ups and downs. We came back, fought our hardest no matter what, tried not to let our head down and just play our game, what we've been doing for the past season, what we've been working on, leave it all out there no matter the results, and just doing our thing.
We knew it was going to be a dogfight coming in, and it definitely was. We gave it our all, and that's all we can do. So I'm proud of myself, proud of my teammates. Thomas is a great team, so congrats to them. And we did what we have, so I'm proud of us regardless.
With that, we'd like to open it up to the members of the media for any questions.
So it's year 3 of your program, and you're starting to progress through. You don't have a freshman laden team like 2021. Talk to me about growing as a team and not giving up. The last few games for y'all have all been a little bit here, a little bit there, game of inches.
Yeah, it comes with experience. We've had a solid group here these last few years. I think 6 of our starters on defense, 6 of our starters on offense have played for us these past 3 seasons. So, we've been in all these situations. So we were ready for whatever was coming with us today. And unfortunately, it didn't come our way at the end, but our girls fought hard, and we're going to continue to do so. And it's all about growth. we were young the first year with all freshmen. We were runners-up that year. Fell short last year, but we have a good group of core girls that are very experienced, and then the freshmen that came in, that got some playing time really showed out and showed why they deserve to be on the starting lineup or in the rotation.
Obviously, the folks who cover flag football have had y'all coming up into the top 4, which is a very important distinction for your program going into Atlanta, as the top 4 teams will receive byes. Talk to me about getting a little bit more about getting that bye in Atlanta and what that would mean.
Yeah, it's huge for rest, and it also gives us some more time to prepare for what's to come. And with the new format, there's going to be a lot of games being played, so that's one less game we have to play in order to get where we want to be in the championship game. So it's definitely an advantage to be in the top 4 with that bye. And we didn't look at that at all this year, though. We were focused on one game at a time, and using that, we got into the top 4, obviously. But that was our motto the whole year, is making sure that we focus on the game that's in front of us and not look ahead, and then we worry about the outcome at the end of the year, what our standings are and all that stuff, and then we figure out what we got to do in order to become national championships.
Maya and Kayla, obviously, Thomas makes a change at quarterback there. What changes in your mind there, as you've got to deal with, yes, Alexa Wilson can take off, but she does not have the proclivity that Kiana Cole has to do it. What goes through your mind when you see 12 back there as linebackers having to adjust where you're firing to?
Well, our coaches, we look back at film from previous games and we've studied that, so when we see that switch, we kind of know what adjustments we have to make, strategize, so we know obviously Kiana's more, she's gonna come to them, so we come up tight, or we listen to our coach on that, but, when Alexa Wilson's in, she's got a cannon, so we gotta adjust that way, so it kind of just depends, but our coaches do a good job of letting us, study the film correctly, and so we know what adjustments we have to make when they come up.
So typically, I see 12, I'm like, she's probably taking off or giving that pitch, so she's got to be ready on your toes, whether she's going to hold the ball, just run right through us, or just pitch it off, be ready for whatever's coming, be there, pull the flags, no matter what.
Did y'all fire a little bit quicker on? Did y'all see that Kaiser play coming where Wilson was rolling left with the drag route coming under, and see that one coming? That looked very Kaiser-esque.
Yes, very much so, we know that's coming, so when we see it, come down.
On the offensive side, talk about having a battle-tested quarterback like Holly Neer coming in and knowing that she's got you, she's been there, and she is capable of leading the squad at this point.
You guys.
I guess I'll take this one as one of her receivers. Holly's she's so passionate, and she's just passionate, so she knows what she wants, and she gives it her all the time she goes up there, so as her receivers, we've built a relationship with her where she can trust us, so that's why sometimes, even I'm like, I see the ball here, and I'm like, oh, no, and we always come up and finish for her, or usually. So we just know, we built that relationship and that trust with Holly, and that's what we built off of our relationship.
What are y'all looking forward to the most, all 3 of you, about getting back to Atlanta? What part of that trip excites y'all?
The travel and staying in the hotels and all that is huge for us, with the camaraderie with the group. So that's always something fun for mainly the girls to be able to hang out and be together for outside of it, even if it's with football, but it's outside of football a little bit too. So that's always good, and it's always fun to travel. And then it's just another opportunity to go reach our
one of the things I look forward to is, apart, like you were saying, apart from hanging out with our teammates, growing that team bonding is key. That's definitely one of the trips where in the past we have definitely grown that bond. But coming back and just trying to give it our all to get that national championship, that's definitely what I'm looking for. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be a fight, just like today, just like yesterday against Kaiser. It's gonna be some back and forth, some hard racing plays, but just gotta give it our all and try to win that national championship, whatever we can to get that. That's what we're aiming for.
I'm looking forward to it. I see it as another opportunity. Not every game's gonna go away like today. We give it our all every time, but Atlanta's gonna be our final opportunity to show people what we can do and prove ourselves. I know we can.
I'm good, Drew.
All right, with that, we want to congratulate St. Thomas on two tremendously played games here during this tournament. Fans definitely got their money's worth watching you guys play. You sense a few people's blood pressure those last
Including
last three games, including yours. But we know we're going to see you guys in Atlanta. You officially being at large, but who cares as long as you get there.
We're there.
All right.
That's all
And
that
with
matters.
that, we want to thank you for coming, for competing, and we wish you luck in and out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You might have to go step out and grab Chelsea because I just saw her go out with Kurt.
So if you say, hey, Dad, can you call Coach C so that he can get with Coach C?
Yeah, just put her right in front of her face there, Drew. You need some time to change your overlay? Good, now I can relax my arm. Five, Kieran, I finally got your number right there at the end. I stopped calling you number 2 today. That's fantastic. In the last game of the year, and get your number right.
At least it happened. I never really noticed. So.
Well, see, but if your family's watching the games, they're probably screaming at the TV at me. So
Is everybody's name spelled correctly?
I can't see that far.
Chelsea Parmer, is that right? Chelseea.
yeah, I think everyone's right.
All right.
That's pretty far away.
They've been watching y'all, but I turned the mic down, so they heard that you said, y'all ready?
Now on mine, they've heard every word. So I mean,
Oh, that's your lie, not my lie. All right, y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
that you.
Good afternoon. We are here, post-game press conference for the 2023 Sun Conference Flag Football Championships, and we are with the champions, the Thomas University Nighthawks from Thomasville, Georgia. And with us, we have Coach Chelsea Palmer, Coach, let me take that back, let me start over. Coach of the Year for the Sun Conference, Chelsea Palmer, quarterback, Alexa Wilson, and wide receiver, Kiara Knight. So what I'm going to ask you to do, Coach Palmer, if you would, please give your opening statement, formally introduce your young ladies, and if they want to give an opening statement after you introduce them, we'll let them do that, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Okay, well, that was a tough one. It was a great game between two very competitive athletic teams. I think in this game we just proved that we wanted it a little more. Yesterday we were struggling with some effort things, and today we gave 100% effort every single play, and it showed. We started off really good defensively and offensively. We had an interception, in a poor time, but our defense held strong. We turned the ball back over. Kier had a nice pick to get us the ball back and give us another opportunity. But that's a very, very, very athletic team. Obviously, they hit us over the top right before half. It's kind of what happened down in South Florida, the same thing. We knew this game, as long as they couldn't get those deep shots on us and we made them earn everything and rally to the ball, that we were going to put ourselves in a good position defensively. And then offensively, they're scary. They have one of the best secondaries in the country. So we had to protect the football and take what they give us, be very methodical. So Alexa did a great job with that. And then, we brought in Kiana in the fourth quarter, and that's kind of reminiscent of last year and kind of what we did. And she's a gamer. She's going to give you everything that she has, and she burned that fourth quarter up for us. So she did a wonderful job as well. But overall, very proud of our kids. Like I said yesterday, we have a big target on our backs. We knew we were going to get their best shot and everyone's best shot going forward. So we've got to make sure that we do what we did today and bring 100% effort, energy, and play fast and limit the mistakes. This is quarterback Alexa Wilson, and this is receiver and safety Kiara Knight, better known as Key. If you have opening remarks.
It was just really fun to play in that intense and that hype of a game. We brought energy from the very beginning, and I think that's what we kind of struggle on sometimes. So I'm just really proud that we were able to bring the energy and be consistent on offense.
She's good.
Go ahead. You go first.
All right. Well, 2 in a row. It's always harder the second time with a target on your back. What was the mindset? Were y'all focused on the revenge aspect any at all today?
I think that the kids wanted an opportunity against them again. We felt like when we went down to Miami that they didn't get the best version of us. So I think that they were very excited to get the opportunity to play them. But we had a lot more to prove than just a revenge game, Again, there's a lot on the line in this game for both teams. You've got seeding, you've got championship rings, you've got, conference banner, you've got a lot of things on the line. So I think that it added an extra amount of intensity in the game, and it really made it feel like a championship game. So it was great to be a part of. It's even better to come out on the winning side of it. But again, not necessarily revenge, but we were definitely excited to get to play them.
Alexa, what's it been like this season, a freshman coming into a team that was the runner-up from a year ago in the only league that plays flag football? So if you're talking about the preeminent, flag football that you're going to see, what's that like coming in as a freshman to a team that's already, you know that's good?
I felt a lot of pressure in the beginning. I had to definitely earn people's trust, my teammates, Coach Parmer, but after the fall, I really felt comfortable. I earned their trust, they earned my trust, and it really just became like I've been here the whole time.
Q, I'm gonna make you choose. Would you rather have touchdowns or interceptions? Especially pick sixes.
Any one of you guys can answer this next question, and it's kind of piggyback on what Corey just asked you, but I would equate for flag football, the Sun Conference to, in tackle football, the SEC, with some of the best teams in the nation playing in this conference. I need each and every one of y'all to talk about how tough this conference is to go through. You went through with one blemish on your record, but you know you probably face the next best team in the nation in this conference at some point in time, and you can pick and choose which one of them you want to say is the next best team. So if you would talk about how tough it is to compete in this conference, and then also talk about how that will prepare you for your ultimate goal, which is coming from Atlanta with a ring.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of great coaches in the Sun Conference. There's a lot of talented players. I mean, most of these teams in the Sun Conference are recruiting the state of Florida because that's where flag football has been the longest. So again, you're going to get a situation where you have a lot of great experienced players. So yeah, it's every week you have to be on your A game, and you know we found that out a couple weeks ago when we weren't. That again, you can slip up at any moment, and anyone in this conference can take you down. And so again, I think that it has prepared us, you know, for whatever's coming out of you know the western side, the KCAC, and you know any other teams coming. I think it's kind of prepared us. I think we're going to be a lot more battle tested than anyone that we see coming out of that conference. But again, we still have to show up. But it definitely is beneficial to us to see the athleticism, to see the type of coaching, and to see it every week.
Either one of you young ladies?
I've always just believed that iron sharpens iron, so if you play with the best, you play against the best, you're going to be the best.
Key, how do you feel playing in some
Sun
conference?
Conference and how tough this conference is to compete in.
It's a lot of competition and a lot of athletes out there, so I like to compete.
My next question is, you've got almost 2 weeks until you compete, no, almost 3 weeks until you actually compete again. A, how do you fight the rust factor? And B, how do you fight complacency considering you just won the championship? Mentally, you know you're good because you just won a championship, but how do you fight that complacency and make sure that you stay focused on that ultimate prize?
Well, I mean, you set goals at the beginning of every year. You know, our goal this year was to have an undefeated season and win the Sun Conference regular season, the Sun Conference championship, and win a national championship. That was our goals. So unfortunately, we didn't complete one of those, but that wasn't the end of the world. We've now knocked off 2 of those goals, and our last one remaining is a national championship. You know, I think that this is a very motivated group. You know, in year one, you get there. Put yourself in a position to win it. You lose by 4 points. There's not much more motivation that you need than to remember how you felt during that time. So they're going to have a little bit of time off. They're going to get to enjoy this a little bit longer than they did last year before we had to get back to work. But we need to rest up. We need to get refocused mentally, more so than anything. And then get ready to get better and to keep working on ourselves. I mean, I really do think that last year, you know, we were in a situation where we were always trying to prepare for the next team and who we were seeing, because again, we were still in catch-up mode, you know. And right now, we're in a situation where we have more experience, so we need to make sure that we continuously get better at what we do. We're very confident in what we do, but we have to continue to get better in what those things are. What do we feel good with? What do we not? What do we need a little bit more work on? So as long as we do that, I don't think that complacency or lack of motivation will be any factors going forward. We're very excited to go back to Atlanta. We're very excited to compete. It's a different format this year, but again, if you handle business, you're playing 4 games, and you should obviously put yourself in a really good position to win. So we've just got to do what we did today, compete every day, and get better over these next couple weeks.
You talked about remembering the feeling of last year. You've got quite a few freshmen on the squad who did not experience it themselves. How do you make them feel that same feeling of the agony of defeat on that stage?
Well, I mean, Alexa committed to us pretty early on last year. So she committed to us in February. So she kind of watched our journey last year. So she was a part of everything. She knew the highs, the lows, and everything that we kind of experienced. So I don't think that she'll have any problem with that. Aaliyah was actually in the stands, and so those freshmen are the ones that are, obviously performing most for us right now. And so being there, I mean, they saw, Aaliyah saw what we went through. We sat there, we watched Ottawa get their national championship, and we sat there on purpose. We sat there to make sure that we understood that we never wanted that to happen again. It wasn't for a lack of effort, but they were the better team that day. So we've got to make sure that that as a whole group, that we emphasize, again, we don't want to feel like that ever again. And I think that is plenty of motivation. I know it is for myself. So.
Now I'm going to let you politic for a second.
Okay.
You've got 1 loss. Why should the other coaches around the nation give Thomas the number 1 seed?
I think our body of work, I think our whole resume, I think our competition, who we play, our point differential in those games. Yes, we have 1 blemish. We were on the road late in the season, and we ran into a team that's just as athletic and that was playing the best ball of anyone in the conference. But again, we get them in a situation today where we come back and we respond. But again, we talked about the Sun Conference and how competitive it is. And when you look at our body of work over the season, there's no one that matches that. They have not seen the competition. And so when we're ranking teams and we're giving seeding, we need to make sure that we have the best teams in those positions. And I do believe that there are 3 very capable teams to be above anyone out of the KCAC. That's how I feel. So we need to make sure that we're ready, because I'm sure that's going to upset some people that I said that. But I do believe that we are the best in the country, but it's on us to prove that. But I do believe that our body of work speaks volumes for us. So I 100% believe that we should be the number 1 seed.
And for all of y'all, what are y'all most looking forward to, either going back to or going to Atlanta as a player for the first time?
I'm excited to just have the experience. Everybody on the team now talks about how much fun it was and how much of a great original experience to have. And I obviously haven't got to experience it yet, so I'm excited to go back, but I'm excited to help lead the team into not having to feel that again and to getting a win.
I'm excited to play in the Nationals because I missed out last time. So
That's true.
I'm good.
And with that, once again, we want to thank you, Coach and young ladies, for joining us here for your post-game press conference. Go celebrate. The 24-hour rule has turned into, about a 48-hour rule, Coach?
Right.
All right. But with that, we look forward to you guys being in Atlanta. That will be May 18th through 20th in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Congratulations once again on your Sun Conference Championship. And God bless you, and let's party.
Thank you.
Thank you.